What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to Bruce and Stephanie Comics. My name is Bruce. Guys, it's Tuesday. I just posted a video yesterday on Monday. When do I ever do that? But guys, it's back to our regular scheduled program on Tuesdays with comic book speculation recommendations. The video where we look into the future at final order cutoff and new comic book day of next week. That's right, guys. We look into the future. This way you guys have the time to put in your pre-orders for final order cutoff and to also reach out to your local LCS and say, hey, I watched this little video on Bruce and Stephanie Comics. It's a spec video. They had some pretty good spec. I did my own research. I like what they said in that video. I agree with it. I would like a couple extra copies of those books so that way I can start to help and make this hobby fund itself. Before we get into the meat of the show, we have our 2 weekly reminders, guys, and the first one is to always do your own research. I am going to suggest some books to you guys today that I think is good spec. I did my own research. I like the books that I'm going to talk about in today's video. That means you guys should also do your own research. Cross-reference what I'm going to say in today's video with other comic book YouTubers you trust, other comic book websites that you guys trust, and other comic book apps that you guys trust. This way you guys have the most information possible to make the best decisions possible for yourself. Because remember, guys, you guys are spending your own hard-earned money, not mine. My money stays in my own pocket, or I spend it on comic books. But you guys are spending your own hard-earned money to try to make this hobby fund itself. So do your own research. And the second reminder is that the books on FOC and the books on New Comic Book Day that we're going to talk about could shift to a different date for FOC in New Comic Book Day. Why do they shift? I am not fully sure. I am not that deep into industry knowledge to know why sometimes these books do shift. But guys, I'm going to talk about a book and I might talk about it later on in a different video because that book shifted from one FOC date to another. Same with New Comic Book Day. And those are 2 reminders. Let's go ahead and jump into our final order cutoff picks. All right, guys, let's jump into our final order cutoff picks for July 25th for your DC books and July 26th for your Marvel and Indies. Our first book up on final order cutoff is Kang the Conqueror #1. That's right, guys. If you guys were watching the Loki show, you know he was the big bad of the season. Sorry, spoiler, but it's been out for a little while now, guys. I don't feel bad if I spoiled it for you. But guys, this is his first solo series ever. He's been around in the Marvel Universe for a very long time, but villains usually don't get their own solo series very often, but this is Kang's first solo series. This is also the origin of Kang. He's never had his origin story told, so now it's finally being told. And this is going to be a 5-issue limited series. I think this book is going to have a lot of buzz around it because of the Loki show in the MCU. He's finally coming. Jonathan Majors is a great actor. I think he did do a good job portraying the character. I did not love the Loki show. If you guys watched our latest Comics and Beer, you know Stephanie hated that show. So, for Bruce and Stephanie Comics, we are a mixed bag on the Loki show, but I think this book is going to be great spec, and I think you guys should be picking up at least 1 copy, if not 2 or more, of Kang the Conqueror #1. And our second and final book on our final order cutoff list. That's right, guys. Only 2 books made the cut from FOC. Guys, this is a good one in my opinion, guys. This is King Spawn #1. This is the premiere issue of the first ongoing Spawn title in 30 years, which I think is so freaking cool. Spawn is a very big comic within the independent universe. It's from Image Comics. It's been around for a very long time. I think they're up to 320 issues in the original ongoing series. And yeah, King Spawn #1, Todd McFarlane. There's gonna be a bunch of different creators working on this book. There's probably gonna be a very large run of this book, but again, the main thing I think about King Spawn is that you want to pick this up and hold it, and you're probably gonna be holding it for a very long time before you really can reap the benefits of this book. Again, think back to Spawn #1. This book has been a $20 book for a very long time, and it's slowly starting to creep up now after almost 20 years. It's starting to really see some value, so I think you might have to pick this up, wait 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. Yes, I'm asking you guys to pick up some extra copies of a book and possibly hold them for 20 years before you see a nice big return. But guys, this is the first ongoing series from a Spawn title in 30 years. That is a big milestone for this series, and I think you guys should be picking up a couple extra copies. And the last book that I'm going to talk about, guys, is just a cover. That's right. This is a cover that I noticed going through my FOC books that I was really excited about. I was like, damn, I gotta pick myself up a couple extra copies of this book because I think just the cover alone could spawn a good return in the future, and that is Catwoman number 34, the Jenny Frison cover. This is going to be only $4.99, and I think it's well worth you guys' money because it's absolutely gorgeous. And there are a lot of Catwoman covers that there's nothing in the bones of the book or the meat of the book, but there are just beautiful covers that go for a lot of money on the secondary market. And I personally think this Jenny Frison cover could be one of those. All right, guys, it is time to jump into our new comic book day picks for July 28th of 2021. And the first book up on our new comic book day spec list is Shang-Chi number 3. Now, this has a good first appearance in it. I don't know if it's great or it's going to be big, but I think it could be an important one. Now, this is his sister. That's right. She is a mutant warrior gifted with the ability to transform music into solid energy. This is going to be her first appearance. Now, the important thing there is that she is a mutant. That's right. And Shang-Chi is coming out this year in MCU, the first movie. Now, if this movie is as good as everyone thinks it's going to be, there are going to be sequels. And guess what else is going to be starting to be introduced into the MCU, and that is mutants. The X-Men are coming to the MCU. Now, why wouldn't the MCU want to introduce Shang-Chi's sister in a future movie? I think that would be a great spec idea because she could go from Shang-Chi into the X-Men or anything else within the MCU. So that's why I think this is good spec, because the X-Men are coming. They've already started to sprinkle mutants within the MCU. So I think this is a great pick because the Shang-Chi movie is coming out. The X-Men are coming. This could be a natural segue into, introducing some more mutants within the MCU for future films. And the second and final book on our new comic book day spec list, that's right, there was 2 in FOC, there's 2 in our new comic book day picks, is a big one in my opinion. I am super excited about this book, and it is Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 1. This is created by Tom Taylor and John Timms. Tom Taylor is the big name. He has been smashing books out of the park since he went over to DC. He is a big name writer. If you go back to Nightwing, what he's doing on Nightwing right now, those books are doing so well. Those first couple of issues are doing so well on the secondary market. People want a good Superman book, and I think Tom Taylor is the person to bring it to him. This is also the premiere issue of Jonathan Kent's first solo series as Superman, and that's another big thing. And yeah, it's just, this could be a really big book. There are some great covers for it. That 1 in 25 Jen Bartel cover is absolutely gorgeous, and you're damn right I'm gonna try to get my hands on that book. But I think this is going to be a fun book. I think it's going to be an important book for Superman going in the future. It's a younger character. The younger people could get attached to this character, especially if Tom Taylor does an amazing job of telling this story. Damian Wayne's going to be a part of this issue because that relationship, Damian Wayne and John Kent have an amazing relationship, and I cannot wait to see what Tom Taylor does with it. But yes, Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 1 is the final book on our new comic book day spec list, but we do have one other book to talk about, and I'm going to talk about that book next. All right, I have one last book to talk about, and that is Star Wars High Republic number 7. Now, the reason why I did not put this on my spec list is because, guys, I am not a big Star Wars fan. I have no idea if the first 2 appearances that are happening in Star Wars number 7 are a big deal. I tried to do some research online before I recorded this video, and I didn't see really a lot of people buzzing about this book. So that's why this is a book that I'm gonna say a book to keep your eye on. That's right, guys, keep your eye on this book. Maybe pick up a copy of this book if you guys have the extra cash, because this has the first appearance of Orlana Janney, a Jedi Knight and Wayseeker, and this also has the first appearance of Darth Krall. Again, I am not a Star Wars buff, so I'm not sure how big these characters are within the Star Wars universe, but guys, I just want to get this information to you guys so that way you guys can make your own decisions. If you guys are Star Wars buffs, let me know down in the comments if I should have been a lot more excited about this book and I should be picking up a lot of extra copies of this book. But guys, that's going to be the final book on the spec list, but I do have a cover of, I noticed while going through New Comic Book Day, just like in our FOC list, and that is Black Widow number 9, the Marks Brooke variant. This is the Captain America 80th anniversary cover. It is absolutely gorgeous. Marks Brooks knocked this cover out of the park. I love Black Widow. I love what Kelly Thompson is doing on that book. But guys, that is going to do it for our New Comic Book Day list. And our final order cutoff list. But guys, there is one other thing I would like to talk to you guys about. So, coverprice.com puts out a weekly top 10 list for its books. And I went through that list before I started recording this video today, and there are 2 books that I have had on my final order cutoff list and new comic book day list, and they are on that weekly top 10. And that is Never Never number 1. Now, I was excited about this, but once I saw it in previews, I put it on my FOC list, I put it on my new comic book day list for you guys, and guys, that book is selling for $30 a book right now. So that was a home run that I told you guys about a long time ago. So hopefully you guys picked up some of those books, or picked up some extra copies of that book, and you guys are hopefully making a nice little return on that. And the second one is Nice House on the Lake number 1. Again, that's book, I talked about it from FOC into new comic book day list. It's written by James Tynion IV. That book is absolutely a banger. And yeah, it's going for $30 a book as well, at the same price as Never Never. I think the Nice House on the Lake has more legs, and that will like grant you or get you a larger return further down the line. But that Never Never right now is a good book to flip right now. And there's one last thing. I know I keep going on. One last thing. But it is Ignacio DiMeglio's birthday today. Happy birthday. He is a subscriber to the channel. He's a great friend to Stephanie and I. He's done some artwork for us. If you guys go to Bruce Stephanie Comics on YouTube, the big banner at the top, he did that for us. We use that imagery for t-shirts. We're going to do it for stickers and more things in the future. Ignacio, happy birthday, my friend. I love you. Stephanie likes you. Hopefully, maybe she'll love you in the future. He also has a new baby in his life. Congratulations, Ignacio. And that's going to do it for today's video. What a great video today, guys. I hope you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you guys are not, I hope you guys would consider subscribing. Hit that bell for notifications. We post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and we go live every single Friday on Comics and Beer. Smash the like button on the way out. I really appreciate you guys sticking around until the end of the video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you guys agree with today's picks or if you guys disagree with today's picks. Also, if I missed a book, let me know down in the comments. All right, guys, I will see you guys on Thursday with Holland Vlog. Have a great week. I'll see ya. Peace.